What's happening, Earthlings? This is Dan here with yet another video for shootonrec.com. And today, in this video, I'm going to help you understand why ACX is rejecting your audiobooks. Now, the ACX approval process is pretty simple. Earlier, they used to review those books manually, but nowadays they don't review the books manually. They would first have a robot take a look at your sound file. And if that goes through, then someone from the editorial team is going to review your book in terms of quality. But you have to make sure that your sound clip meets the ACX requirements. And many people, especially first-timers, people who are recording their audiobooks for the first time, actually find it very hard to make their clips meet the ACX specifications. And in this video, I'm going to help you fix those problems and get your audiobook approved on ACX. So let's find out how to do it. Now, there are some fundamental things that you have to keep in mind. First of all, what many people do is they either record very hot or their microphone is just not loud enough. This you have to keep in mind when you are recording your audiobook because you don't want to go back and start recording once again. So always make sure that your recording levels, your metering levels inside Audacity, if you're using Audacity for recording the audiobook, make sure the metering levels are appropriate, meaning your microphone should not be any hotter than minus 12 dB. And minus 12 dB is the limit here. I personally don't recommend minus 12 dB. I would recommend something around the minus 24 dB, minus 21 dB range. So try to keep your microphone at that level when you are starting to speak into your microphone. That's number one. Second, and probably the most important thing here is you have to make sure that you are not recording in a very noisy environment, which means that the walls in your recording space have to be properly padded so you don't have unwanted echo and room reverbs. And any computer fans, the AC duct or something like that shouldn't be making any noise. Your microphone should be recording your voice and a little bit of room tone, that's all. You don't need any outside noise. The problem is if you have outside noise, your noise floor is going to get above the minus 60 dBFS limit that ACX wants from you. So make sure that your noise floor is very low, and for that you have to use equipment that is low on noise. For example, microphone cables, the microphone itself, your microphone preamp, the computer itself. All these things need to be such that they don't produce a lot of noise. That's very, very important. The noise floor needs to be at minus 60 dB. And finally, you have to make sure that your entire recording meets the RMS levels, meaning it's loud enough for all kinds of devices to be played across all kinds of devices, but it's not too loud, all right? So you can keep it at minus 3 dB, normalize the entire file at minus 3 dB or maybe at minus 6 dB. But what happens is if you have a huge noise floor, the moment you normalize your file to something as loud as minus 3 dB, your noise floor tends to go up. And that's when people start facing problems. So you have to make sure that your noise floor is very, very low. It has to be minus 60 dB. I mean, there's no other way to do it. So have a very low noise floor file to begin with, and then you can normalize your entire recording. Now, I'm going to be giving you my personal workflow here when I am editing someone's audiobook, or maybe if I'm recording something myself. What I would typically do is I would keep the microphone 8 to 10 inches away from my mouth. I would record at maybe minus 21 dB or minus 24 dB, not any louder than that. And once I have recorded everything and I have cleaned out all the mistakes and everything, then I would simply select the entire file. Okay, I won't normalize it yet. I would select the entire file. I would apply a noise gate and a deesser. Now, it totally depends on you what you want to use. You could be using any paid plugins. For example, I personally use the Isotope Nectar Suite. But if you want, you can use the inbuilt Audacity effects as well. They're pretty good. So the first step would be to select the entire file and then apply a noise gate. The reason I use the noise gate is, I mean, no matter how high quality your equipment is, there's always going to be some amount of noise in there. So you have to make sure that your noise gate actually blocks out all that unwanted noise and hum, all right, electrical hum. So I use a noise gate and I don't, put the gate threshold at more than maybe minus 48 or minus 51 dB. That's usually enough for me. And when I've done that, I have applied the effect. The noise gate is going to remove all the electrical hum, and that is actually the trick to bring down the noise floor. Apply a noise gate and take out all the unnecessary noise in there, all right? So that's my number one step. The second thing I usually do is I usually use a deesser to take out the harsh sibilant sounds. And then finally, maybe I would EQ my voice a little bit Depending on what I'm recording, maybe I would add a little bit of high-end frequencies to give it that high-end sparkle and scoop out the midsection a bit and remove a little bit of the bass frequencies. And after doing all of these things, I'm going to normalize my file. So I would go ahead and select the entire file and normalize my file to -3 dB. And then I would select a chunk of text that contains both spoken words and a considerable amount of room tone or silence. And then I'm going to run the ACX check plugin. If the plugin says everything is fine, it's great. If the plugin says that my noise floor is too high, then I would run the noise gate all over again. But usually that doesn't happen. My noise gate is never more than -60 dB. And if the RMS levels are more than what ACX wants, then I would probably go back and normalize my file to -6 dB instead of -3 dB. So those are the four things that I usually do. That's my workflow. I would first use a noise gate, remove all the unnecessary electrical hum and electrical noise. Then I would take the entire file and de-ess it to remove all the sibilants. And then if I need to add any kind of EQ, I would do that. And then finally, I'm going to normalize the file to -3 dB to begin with, and then use the ACX check plugin to find out if the clip meets the ACX requirements. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, usually the RMS levels are louder than what I would like them to be. So I can then go back and change the normalized settings to -6 dB. And it's pretty simple. You don't have to spend sleepless nights over making your file meet the ACX requirements. It's very, very simple. If you follow all these 3-4 steps, these are very simple steps. Just make sure that you are using the noise gate properly, all right? If your noise floor is at -60 dBFS, then you can manage your RMS levels. RMS is all about loudness. It's root mean square, which usually translates into the loudness of the file. And that can be easily managed by altering at what dB range you are actually normalizing your file. If you're doing it at -3 dB, and if it comes out to be too loud, then you can go back and change it to -6 dB. So that's how this works. It's pretty simple. And then with confidence, use the ACX check plugin and go ahead and send your file over to ACX. And it's going to get approved. I promise you that. So that's it. That's it for now. I'll see you again in my next one. This is Dan here signing off. Please subscribe to my channel. I don't usually like saying this, but I have come to realize that saying this actually helps the videos. So subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share. And if you have any specific topic in mind that you would like me to cover, let me know that in the comments. If there are enough comments, I can definitely consider creating videos on those topics. Thank you. I'll see you again in the next one.